Hi, Carly. Nice to see you again.
Hi, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on here. I'm so excited for you to share your experience because I think it's so important to give people hope. And working with you has been great and showed me that, when you have a little hope and you take control of your health, you can make massive, radical shifts in your health. So
Yeah.
I want to start by just asking, like, why did you come to Bosnar Health? What was life like before you came to work with me?
Yeah, sure. I'll do a quick kind of Coles
Summary.
notes of what was going on. Yeah. So back last year in February, I started to get some neck pain, which was fine. I just thought it was something at the gym or if I slept funny. And then my right leg started to have numbness in it. And I still didn't really think any too much about it. I actually just thought it was something that happened from my neck. It was affecting my leg and how it all works together. And then my right eye started to go a little bit blurry. And as soon as I kind of put the one side together, I got a bit nervous and messaged my doctor, who then said, well, you kind of fit every single category for MS, like woman, childbearing years, where I live, etc. So got an MRI done. My brain was clear, but my spine did have lesions in 2 or 3 different spots on it. So I did opt to get a spinal tap to just see if there was anything in the spinal fluid. And between waiting for results and that, I decided to kind of do my own research, look on Instagram and things like that. Found Terry Wahls, looked up who knows about Terry Wahls, and that's how I found you guys. So decided to reach out from there.
And for those people who are watching this who don't know, Dr. Terry Wahls had progressive relapsing multiple sclerosis, was had her diagnosis for 27 years, 7 years in a wheelchair, barely able to hold her head up. And actually, when she was one of my functional medicine professors, but when I did my personalized certification with her on her program, which was the Wahls protocol, I was so inspired at how much radically people could shift through diet and lifestyle. This disease, this MS that was seen as like, oh, there's no solution. So, and watching her get up out of a wheelchair and be able to lecture all over the world was so inspiring that I was really excited to share that with patients. And so when we started working together, um, what were you surprised by? What were you like, okay, I know I'm going to have to do this work. What was the most surprising about the approach? How did you feel? Did you feel like you got enough information?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I read a bunch on your website, obviously, and then called in, and I forget what her name is who talks
Here,
to you at first.
here.
Yes. And she was so thorough and so kind and so amazing. So that really got me interested. And then just to read through the package and everything, working with you and then working with Sylvie. And it just surprised me how instantly I felt cared for. And that you truly like, because bouncing between other doctors, like, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but I just never felt like someone sat down and like fully listened to me and fully got to know about me and my lifestyle and how that can play a part. And I just felt like really, really that you guys were sitting and listening and very, very much um, just cared about me and cared about how I was going to do and what I was dealing with.
Yeah, and I think that unfortunately, conventional approaches to chronic conditions are really just tailored at symptom management.
Mhm.
And so, if we can manage your symptoms, that's kind of the only training, and it's just the training they get. We know that chronic conditions, neuroinflammatory conditions, usually have a multitude of triggers and things that are fueling the fire. So, for us as well, taking a very, very thorough history and actually understanding all of your stressors from childhood to now to gut health to sleep to having small children, those really play an important role. And I think the journey to becoming ill or having an illness takes some time. So it takes some time to undo the damage and heal. And I think that's why this kind of approach I think is needed, um, because I just don't think there's any other way to do it effectively. Um, did you receive any other benefits? Anything else? Like, okay, so tell us what happened once you got your treatment, how things shifted for you.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I met with you first, and then we decided to go through the two tests just to see kind of what was going on,
For sure.
which is the gastro test and the urine test.
Hmm.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
And I just found that extremely, first of all, eye opening. Um, Second of all, just nobody else had offered that, which is crazy now that I look back, now that I've gone through all of this and all the journey and everything that wasn't offered. And um, I would say the mind shift from you is the biggest thing I took away. Just knowing that I could kind of take it into my own hands and have my health not always reliant on someone else. There was something I can do each and every day, multiple times through the day that would make me feel better in the long run. I also loved that you care to know about me and what would fit into my lifestyle. Because you'd always be like, "Are you getting enough sleep?" Of course you're not. You have two young kids, and like it's the understanding and working with me that made it also feel very manageable that I could do it, and just empowerment is
Yeah.
what was given to me. So yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's our ultimate goal is really if I can inspire you to take control of your health and then know you have that control and maybe you need some support, but that you have
Mhm.
so much ability to really once you have information like mold or parasites, once you know that then there's a plan. I think having the plan makes people feel empowered too, and it's why I love the functional medicine approach. It's why I love the food first approach. I feel like because everyone can do that. Everyone can do better diet. Everyone can do better lifestyle. It may take some change, but
Mhm.
if you don't want to, I tell people all the time, if you are done being sick, then you need to change, then you need to make the change. And I'm ready for you whenever you're ready for it. Um,
Right.
were you able to share this with your family and how has it changed how you raise your two young daughters?
Oh, 100%. I mean, my husband is very he believes in all of this and only knows we can be doing better, for even better for him, and he loved that. So he was very much on board even for the cooking because I did end up going gluten-free, dairy-free as much as humanly possible. And then cutting out as much alcohol as possible. So he was very on board with that, but I just loved also knowing all these new things I was learning would trickle down to my kids as well. Like the big thing we did right away was the grass-fed beef and just knowing where our meat was coming from, because even just thinking about the hormones that's going into your body, like they have such tiny little bodies that are growing and developing, and starting to think of them that way. And then we created a garden out back and to grow some fruits and vegetables, and they're now going and picking them, and it has had a huge trickle down effect. Which, yeah, it's super cool. Like I made sourdough the other day. I didn't eat it, but my young daughter was like helping me, and I just think she's gonna see her mom and dad being healthier and making things from scratch and everything, and that's just gonna take her on to adulthood as well. So
And
it's
how
very cool.
valuable is it to have your health when you're a mom of two kids? Like how valuable is it for you to have that energy and that brain clarity and what would that be worth to somebody?
I don't think you can put a price on it, honestly, and that's, I mean, you can't put a price on your health. It seems not important until it's really important, and then it's the only thing that matters. And especially having kids, like my first, obviously, going through all of this health scare, like my kids were at the forefront of my mind, and just really hoping that I can be there for them, pick them up, wrestle with them in the backyard. And yeah, it's a huge driving factor.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really my ultimate mission is to create families so that this epidemic of childhood illnesses that we've seen explode in the last 20 years starts to shift because kids actually know, oh, I have a headache or, oh, I have a tummy pain. What is my body trying to tell me? And I think when we
Mhm.
empower moms and dads to like model that behavior so they have enough energy to be present for their kids really learn. And I think that's my ultimate mission. So it really makes me so happy when parents take that on. And my last question to you is, if you were speaking to your friend or someone who was just on the fence, like, I don't know, maybe I'll do the traditional route and I'm just destined to be this way, what would you say to them? What words would you give them of encouragement?
I would honestly just, first of all, just give it a try. Just meet you guys, or just, yeah, really take the first step, listen, just try it out, because I started feeling better within like 2 weeks of cutting things out and adding more in, and it's not even about being restrictive at all. At first you're like, "Oh, I can't have this and I can't have this," but then you start to like, it's almost like a little game, like, "What else can I add to this? Like, what other fruits, what other herbs or whatever?" And, just you guys constantly encouraging that as well. Like, I follow you, both of you guys, on Instagram, and just, it's a very supportive community, I find. And again, you can't really put a price on your health, especially, I like, this happened when I was 32, so I'm still very young, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm gonna take control of this. So I would say it's 100% worth it.
I always tell people, I'm like, you literally have nothing to lose. Oftentimes people are like, well, what if I don't get, I'm like, but you have nothing to lose, all and everything to gain at getting healthier. And
Yeah.
um, I don't think we spoke about this, but we've spoken this before. Your objective results, not only that you had less symptomatology, but your objective results from your MRI, where they found some spots, to the MRI we found just earlier this year that showed what?
No lesions anymore.
No
No
lesions.
lesions.
And
They
that would
they
be
would
unheard of.
Yes, they were like, we would read this as a completely normal MRI.
Yeah.
So pretty wild, pretty amazing. Like, I think
And
back
you
to that
did it.
day when we got the phone call, it was just amazing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you did it all yourself and now you know what to do. So it's been such a pleasure. I really appreciate your kind words and I hope that you take that on and you share it with other people as we will. And I hope to see you soon again. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.